Ram Ram there. You see the way that Null is able to cut through the can and then knock it back to Wisdom. We saw it a couple times. Yeah, you see that? That's actually a huge risk for Wisdom, because if Wisdom jumps out of shield, he's going to jump right into his own can. I did not know the intricacies of this matchup, but as I'm watching this, I'm seeing it, and actually, Wisdom looks like he's really struggling. Excellent down smash from the spot dodge to take off that first stock, but Wisdom's still at 133.
Payback.
Right, well done. But my goodness, you have got to credit Null for just coming out here with just the full force. The brunt of the attacks right now is just really overwhelming Wisdom, and I really was anticipating it being more of a struggle, but no, that has not been the case for Null. Just, game plan executed, and again, you can always tell when somebody's just a little more prepared than you imagine they could be, and Null kind of right now telling that story. But I don't want to sleep on Wisdom, again, as incredibly decorated and accomplished as he is in a lot of these competitions. Coney, he's not going to be somebody who just kind of gets knocked out. Very eager to bring this one back, and at 25%, Null sitting at 112, still very doable situation.
No question. And one of the things that we talked about before that we haven't really discussed that much is how unconventional Min Min is. And sometimes you have to learn these matchups on the fly, and Wisdom might be doing that himself. We can see he's actually pacing pretty well up until now. Was doing a lot of damage without taking much of his own. That can is actually a huge issue for Wisdom, though. And that might be what he needs to do, is learn how to play without it, because the can is constantly coming back to bite him. That neutral air is going to do it, and right now 71% on Wisdom needs a little bit more to take out this first game against Null.
All about weathering the storm at the moment for Wisdom, and I think he has done a sensational job at that, bringing this thing back. I mean, closing the gap, only about 70%, or excuse me, about a 30% difference at the moment. So Wisdom clearly seeing some light at the end of this tunnel, understanding, okay, yes, it was a rocky start, but I've done a good job really kind of cleaning up the gameplay, slowing things down. You said it best, Coney, learning on the fly, just kind of adapting as you go, something you expect from high-level competitors at this point in the bracket. Again, a trip to grand finals on the line, so you got to bring every single thing you got, and it looks like Wisdom has really picked it up.
I love that use of the fly to get over the double shot from Null. Null was charging both fists, and Wisdom using that up B to escape to the platform. Excellent prediction there. And I'm wondering if Wisdom has noticed Null's air dodge habit. It feels like...
the second one, the big boy? Oof.
Oh, yep. I was just about to say Wisdom might be picking up on Null, who tends to air dodge in a little bit more, or, air dodge when in trouble. And Wisdom might be able to secure a stock from that. Wanted to see if that would come to pass, but it doesn't even matter, as Null perfectly times another fist all the way at the ledge, and Wisdom losing their stock, I think, at 100%, 110, very early.
Yeah, good stuff. I mean, and great composure as well, too. You see, you have a huge lead. You kind of let it slip away. You see somebody kind of crawling their way back in. It can get a little nerve-wracking, too. But no, I admire the fact he was able to, you know what? I've been winning up until this point. 90% of the match has been all me. I'm going to close it out, and he did just that. But I'll let you know, Wisdom maybe trying to put him on notice just ever so slightly that, look, this next game is not going to start out as hot for you. Stop it!
No change to Diddy Kong?
Stop it! What?
Oh, man. All right.
Why?
Diddy Kong is out for Null, and I guess this time he's in the mood. I don't know. We'll see as we're on Battlefield for this next one. I do feel like Null may have seen something in that last match where it felt like Wisdom was sort of getting used to it. We saw that Wisdom was really struggling early on, and Min Min was doing an excellent job of knocking the can back on Null's side, and maybe he said, you know what, for this next one, it felt like Wisdom was starting to outpace him. Let me throw something new at him. But this might be the first Game 3 we see all day, as Wisdom is doing an excellent job keeping Null on his back foot.
I was literally thinking the same thing, because like, how often do you see somebody switch characters after they're winning? You know what I mean? Like, that's just usually not typically the case, but for Null, hey, maybe he did see something indeed. I mean, again, we saw Wisdom definitely start to kind of get his footing as that match started to kind of drag out. So the switch to the Diddy Kong, not proven to be the most effective at the moment. 126 can be a little shaky on that percent. We're all on Battlefield, however, so we're gonna have some room to live, but yeah, definitely something Wisdom's probably thinking like, okay, well, if you're gonna potentially give me a free game, I'm not gonna let it go to waste, unlike that stock, which gets set all the way out.
Yeah, I don't know if the Diddy was the correct pick. I mean, we'll see if Wisdom is maybe a little bit thrown off by it, but it doesn't seem like it so far. I know using those peanuts, throwing down the banana, not quite enough as Wisdom is able to retreat onto the platform. You can see him hiding next to that can. And I feel like that's where Diddy struggles, is like, what can Null do there? if Wisdom is just hiding in shield next to the can, you can't really up air him because you're both going to take damage. You can't throw the banana. I don't really know what the option is, and Wisdom seems well versed in this matchup. Diddy, a very popular character, not so much in this game, but in previous games, and the game plan, Wisdom looks like he was ready for it the whole time.
Yeah, this is, I mean, maybe, you know, if this it's kind of like an issue of, okay, well, you know, got a little too close for comfort in the last one. Let me just throw you off guard. A whole lot of claps, but that's about all you're going to get out of that. That stock remaining intact for Wisdom at 133. Just, I think the surprise factor that Null might have been looking for just isn't here. It just isn't here because Wisdom is just playing this perfectly. I mean, the setups are immaculate. You see the gunman, the plate pitches, the can, and all these hits just adding up. It really could potentially give Wisdom here the 2-stock lead, depending on if Null can strike, but there's just nothing going his way. Can't even sneak on in with that command grab Diddy's known for. No, Wisdom having it all scouted
Diddy
out.
Kong has one more life.
This is going to game 3, Cody. Our first one of the day.
Yeah, I don't, and Diddy also doesn't really have that really, like, insane comeback factor, right?
Yes.
I mean, even the forward tilt not KOing at 147, what the heck? I mean, I don't know what Null can really do to bring this back. Not the real surprise KO factor that a lot of characters have. That up smash is your most reliable, and you can see Wisdom just deftly playing around it. Null has no answers here as we see the shock surprise of a Diddy Kong pick slowly fizzle into nothing.
You gotta go with
147
Diddy
on Wisdom.
Kong,
We've got our first game 3.
You take that, Diddy.
So it's a tied match.
Far into the pocket, it never comes back out again. At least
sew the pocket up. Sew the pocket up.
Exactly. At least not for this event, because that wasn't it. And I love Null, great player, Wisdom as well. But I think it's pretty evident that we need Min back. I think Min has to be your go. That's what got you the first game. Yeah, it got a little rocky at it, but you're playing against somebody very capable. It's gonna get closer there. Trying to throw curveballs, trying to get smooth and creative with. You only have such a window to work with in a best of 3, right? Like that's where it really comes down to like character selection and commitment being so crucial because you don't have that much time to work with. And even going to hesitate, goes right back to Min, and that is what I want to see. Wisdom though has got to be just beaming with confidence coming into this
Let's
game.
see how this goes.
You know what? I'm kind of wondering if it's a 5,000 IQ play to go Diddy there because it did seem like Wisdom was sort of sniffing him out there with the duck hunt, was figuring out his habits and was knowing exactly how to beat Minion over time. Maybe Null going Diddy there to throw him off his scent a little bit, to say, okay, I'm going to throw something new at you. I'm going to cool you off a little bit. You'll figure out the Diddy, throwing that game away, but giving him a chance to come back with new stuff on Min for game 3. I'm wondering if that was the option here.
I don't think I'm not ruling that out, but the problem is like that can backfire so hard because you can sit there and give somebody like Wisdom so much confidence, right? So much momentum, and that plays more. I think that plays so much more of a factor than people tend to realize in big competitive games. I mean, look at right now. I mean, it's 8% to 138. Okay, 8% to 138 up into that hit right there. It's pretty clear who's coming in feeling confident, feeling pretty good about themselves.
Yeah, Wisdom not shaken at all, undeterred. And I think that this stage is perfect for Wisdom, too, because it's so large. Null is going to have to chase him all over the place. I think if you were going to get a stage, this is it. But Null, with excellent 2 frames, you see Wisdom really struggling to make it back. Losing
all
their
right,
93.
that's what I want to see from Null.
And remember what I said about Diddy not having that real comeback factor, that X factor to take off stocks early. Min is on the opposite end of that. That megawatt hurts.
Absolutely. I mean, Diddy, it was kind of almost like a similar situation too with the Diddy Kong, but as you even pointed out, that tilt at 144 didn't even KO, so you already knew it was uphill bound from there. Min not suffering any of those disabilities, so that is going to be exactly what keeps us back on even footing, despite it being 130% gap just about a minute and a half ago.
See Null evening it out. We've got a little bit slower pace here. This is definitely different than what we've seen most of the day, particularly in Dialga's matches, but you like to see a little bit of a change of pace here as Null trying to find a way to knock Wisdom off the stage in this game 3. Winner, of course, will be going on to Grand Finals to face Dialga in just a little bit, but right now, evenly matched between these two.
Kind of slowed down a little bit to a snail's pace at the moment, as to be expected. Wisdom putting some distance between the two. At a large stage like this as well does kind of bode well for Wisdom, trying to keep his distance, but Null obviously using those arms to perfection, just slicing through the can, trying to just kind of make it not even a factor at the moment. Air dodging through, nice. I love what Wisdom did there. Anticipating the air dodge, just staying patient,
I believe Wisdom is going to go against the
and then going to go ahead and take advantage of the fact that Null goes flying off the stage, and this is one stock away from grand finals for Wisdom. He is honed in, he is keyed in, and Null, all the pressure right now, my friend, falls on your shoulders.
Yeah, Wisdom looking very well trained there, sitting and staying on Duck Hunt, doing an excellent job just waiting for Null to give him the stock. And you see Null's air dodge is really coming back to bite him, as we said before. Wisdom throwing out the can to punish Null's air dodge on the left-hand side. And if Null doesn't watch out for that, Wisdom could put out a well-timed smash attack and maybe eliminate that stock early.
All right.
Oh, another one. Another megawatt. 120. Wisdom losing that stock in an instant.
Big time play for Null, needed that, and just like that, like, you know, you consider how that first stock went to open up this game, how Null was able to bring it back despite that insane deficit. The door is still open for Null to go ahead and potentially steal this game back from Wisdom, who I have to imagine has that in the back of his mind, like, okay, I can't allow this guy to get too comfortable, can't allow his momentum, his steam to start rolling, because right now, as I'm speaking, he is certainly letting them hit.
Wait, can he make it? He will, but the two-frame is so risky. Another megawatt. Null throwing out every fist he has as he clinches it against Wisdom, and we said it before, man.